In this program, we'll get our first introduction to using methods in Java. So I'll call the project Method Introduction, and that's also the name I'm going to give to the class. I'll call it Method Introduction. And I'll take a free public static void main, fill in some documentation details, and as I said, it'll be our introduction to learning about methods. It's our first program that we do this. Get the name of the class down there and mark the end of the main method. It won't be the only method in this program. Let's start with something we've seen before. We're going to introduce a video game legend. Of course, that's going to be Sonic the Hedgehog. So we'll let the users know that that's coming up. We're going to hear from a famous video game hedgehog. And we'll allow Sonic to go ahead and speak to us. You can type whatever you want. The first thing he'll do is greet the user. Next, Sonic will inform us of the name, Sonic the Hedgehog. And of course, the advice that Sonic wants us to follow: we've got to go fast. Very basic code here. We've got 4 lines that should display, and there they are. But now we're going to take Sonic's message and put it inside its own method. So we're going to write another method. We'll start with public, then static, that's what we need for now, more on that at another time, void, because this will not return anything, it's just going to execute lines of code, and we'll give it a name. I'll call it legend message. Need parentheses after it. Looks a lot like the main method, except nothing in the parentheses right now. And I'll mark the end of it with legend message and parentheses because it is a method. And I'll take those 3 lines where Sonic is speaking to us and put them inside legend message. And I'll get rid of them up in the main method. And in its place in the main method, we will call or activate the legend message method simply by typing legend message with parentheses. This will look the same to the users. As you see, when we run it, it looks the same. But what happens is the main method runs first. And then when we get to legend message, that call or activation of a method suspends the main method. We go to legend message, run all of its code, and then return to the main method, which it turns out is all done. We'll use some JavaDoc here. That's when we use the backslash with 2 asterisks. We'll use that a little bit more coming up here in Chapter 5 and Chapter 6. So we're going to display a message from Sonic the Hedgehog. That's what this method does. Let's make another message where we hear from a turtle. You can pick any turtle you want. I'm going to use one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So again, public, static, void, turtle message. And we'll get a message from, I'll use Donatello. But you may use any turtle you like. A very brief message. Oh, remember, I don't want to have the backslash with 1 asterisk. That's green. I want the blue JavaDoc. In Eclipse, it's blue. So it displays a message from Donatello, one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's what this method does. I'll return now to the main method to call or activate this turtle message method. We'll let the users know that that's what's coming up. And I want to activate or call this method 3 times. So I'm going to make a loop. a for loop. So here we go. For int I equals 0 to initialize it. We'll check to see that this is, as long as I is less than 3, we'll keep running this loop, and the updater is I++. And this will allow us to run a loop 3 times, and we're going to call turtle message or activate turtle message 3 times. So in the for loop, we'll type turtle message. You'll notice as Eclipse recognizes this static method, it turns it into italics in the main method. And there we go. Donatello speaks to us 3 times. If we change the value there to 8, we can hear from Donatello 8 times. Instead of writing the same line of code 8 times, we write it once in a method and activate that method 8 times. We'll take it back to 3 times now. If we want to change the turtle message, we simply go down to turtle message and we can edit it there. Well, let's hear from a dog now. Public static void, again void because we're not returning anything, dog message. And this is just going to be displaying a message from a dog. A very basic message. You can have your dog say whatever you would like. Right now, my dog is just going to say woof. This method is ready to go. So I'll return to the main method, and once Donatello is done, now we're going to hear from a dog. And all we have to do is first prompt the users to let them know that's what's coming. And then we'll activate or call dog message. And there it is. Our dog speaks to us with woof. But maybe dogs have deeper thoughts than this. So we're going to make another method where our dog has some deeper thoughts. Once again, public static void dog thoughts, or whatever you would like to call it. So another thought our dog might have, besides woof, is bark. Or maybe the dog sees something it doesn't like, and the thought is grrr. Or maybe our dog is hungry. And would like a treat. And to go for a car ride. And dogs are always smelling things. So maybe this dog likes to smell garbage cans. So again, some deeper insight from a dog. And that's what I'll put in this Java doc here with a backslash and 2 asterisks. Display deeper thoughts from a dog. Now I'll go to dog message, and inside this method, we'll call or activate dog thoughts. When the dog thoughts are all done, this dog will say woof 1 more time. Let's watch what happens. Not changing anything in the main method. We're still going to activate dog message. All right. So we hear from a dog, and that's when we go to the dog message method. So the main method is suspended while we go to dog message. Dog message runs woof, and then it is suspended because dog thoughts gets called. So we go to that method and execute all of it. There's all 4 lines of code. When dog thoughts is done, we return to the dog message method. And then when it's done, it returns back to the main method, right where they'd previously been suspended. Notice how clean the main method looks. Not as many lines of code. They're kind of outsourced out to these other methods. And very easy if you want to change the thoughts from the dog, the turtle, or anything to go edit those methods.